Another school year has arrived here at Beech Grove City Schools, so it's time once again for the Hornet Spotlight. I'm Mark James, happy to be your host again this year. In advance, we want to thank our assistant principal, Randy Clevenger, for helping to secure these interviews and our guests throughout the course of this year, and also provide us the information we'll be passing along to you about the great things going on here at Beech Grove High School toward the end of this show. Well, it's time to induct another member into the Beech Grove Hall of Fame, and certainly no stranger to the Beech Grove community. She's been a proud member in her third term now of our school board here at Beech Grove City Schools. I want to say welcome and congratulations to Jannis King.
Thanks. I'm very flattered that you asked me to be here.
So 1971 will do what we always do when we have a new inductee. Of course, being a member of the school board, being in the community, you get a chance to be around the buildings plenty. So how has Beech Grove High School changed from 1971 to today? I know we don't probably have enough time to describe that, but
well, the building itself has changed, and there's so many courses offered now that weren't offered then. Of course, computers weren't a big thing back then.
yeah.
Dress is a big thing too. Actually, our class was the first class that ever got to wear jeans.
Oh, wow.
And so you were sort of a rebel in the class if you came in and wore jeans for a while until everybody started wearing jeans, but that was sort of a big deal back then.
I mean, the whole layout of the facility has changed. The one thing that we get a lot here is that this used to be the band room.
It did, and we didn't even have a pool.
Yeah.
We didn't have two gyms. The admin building was in the front to the left. The cafeteria was still where it is now, but yeah, everything has changed so much.
But I don't want to skip around too much. I want to stay focused and kind of try to do this in chronological order. But
sure.
Your perspective, I would think, would be a bit unique from the standpoint that being a 1971 graduate, but now being a member of the school board, I know you're dialed in on the subject at hand at these school board meetings, but do you ever, while you're at a meeting, think, I can't believe how far we've come in the time since I've been here as a student?
I can't believe how far we've come in just the time that I've been on the school board.
Yeah.
With Dr. Kaiser coming on board, he's such a visionary, and he has really helped take this school to such great levels, and he's hired wonderful staff. We have fabulous teachers. I mean, we can't ask for more in this community. We're all very proud to be on the board.
Yeah, I think the thing that comes to mind when you talk about Dr. Kaiser, not only him, but of course Dr. Keeley, Dr. Hammock.
All of them.
The administrative team as a whole, not only here in this building, but all of our buildings, I don't hear a lot of negatives about the administrative team.
No, they're all so very smart and so willing to work with the community and with parents and students to make sure that they succeed. That is their goal, for every child to graduate, every child to get the same opportunity, and they will let them go as far as they want to.
Well, let's tuck that away for a moment. Let's get back to talking about you, if you don't mind.
If we have to.
So tell us, you and I were talking before we went on the air. You left Beech Grove, you enrolled at Ball State University. Sadly, some personal tragedy got in the way and kind of disrupted your college plans.
I was there for 2 years. I really wanted to be a teacher, actually, and came home and started working in jobs here and there. I worked for an insurance company for a while, and interviewed with a company that was called Melvin Simon and Associates at the time, which is now Simon. And I worked with them, well, this is my second 20-year term. I worked for them for the first time for 15 years. I got an opportunity to transfer to San Antonio and work there for 5 years and come back. And I got an opportunity to go work with a small company called Balcor, who owned Union Station, that when it was really big with retail and entertainment. And I was the director of permanent and short-term leasing there for 2 years. And Simon contacted me and asked me to come back. And I was at Greenwood Park for a year, and then I started working with their short-term leasing program and helped develop that with the woman who put it on the map, who was Karen Casaro. She's not with the company anymore, but she's on to bigger and better things now.
So, my goodness, not only have you seen a tremendous amount of growth in Beech Grove City Schools, but I would imagine over those 2 20-year terms, Simon Properties has grown by leaps and bounds, especially with all of the changes that you've seen occur in the commercial real estate industry.
Well, they're now a REIT, Retail Investment Trust, Real Estate Investment Trust, and they're the largest in the United States. They have about 320 malls. That's not really including strip centers. What was I going to tell you? They just changed their branding, so their logo and colors are all different. Just changed those within the last 3 or 4 months. And we've split off, and now they're going to have another company called Washington Prime, who's taking some of the smaller centers and community centers. So we're going to have 2 completely different divisions under Simon.
I don't know that the Simons get enough credit. While they've certainly become a national and international company, there's no question where their heart lies. It lies right here in the state of Indiana, and especially central Indiana.
Absolutely.
And I think people sometimes fail to realize, and I'm not talking about just the investment they made in the Indiana Pacers and the fever in that organization and Pacers Sports and Entertainment, but there are cancer centers and other not-for-profits in which that they've been a part of for many, many years. So no matter how far they've gone nationally or internationally, there's no question the heart and soul of that company remains here in central Indiana.
It really is, and the people that work there are very kind to their employees. I couldn't have raised my family without them. They also have Simon Youth Foundation, which helps kids that, like our Hornet Enrichment Academy, they help kids come back to school and get degrees, their high school diploma, when they can't do that through regular high school hours. So they just keep investing.
So now what specifically are your duties with Simon Properties now?
I'm what they call a specialty leasing manager, and I oversee properties in Indiana and Ohio. I have 2 specific centers that I'm responsible for, Circle Center and Castleton Square. And I do all the short-term leasing, whether it be in the common area, which is the walkway of the mall, carts and kiosks, or I also do inlines. We're also responsible for going out and finding new concepts, developing people into becoming a retailer, teaching them retail, teaching them how to sell, creating their logo, helping them come out with the colors, figure out how to display. I mean, we do all kinds of things to develop entrepreneurs, basically.
So what you're suggesting is they don't just take a space, throw something up, and get somebody to
No, we won't let them.
It's incredibly involved, isn't
It's
it?
very involved. And some people already have a great idea, and you can sort of just let them do their thing, but you sort of have to keep your thumb on them so that, they don't go out and not do exactly what they need to do either, because we do have rules and regulations of what we want to do, and we don't want them competing with our perm tenants. They pay us a lot of rent. And then I also oversee the other reps in Indiana and Ohio, and just sort of help guide them a little. I'm not their boss. We do have a vice president that's a boss, and that's our boss. And I go to their properties and help them out too. And then I also help the malls that don't have reps and help them do their, as a matter of fact, I left work today because I'm in the process of doing 7 budgets for 7 malls who don't have reps,
My guess is, I'm making an assumption here that is the word complacency even allowed to be used in your business?
Don't have time to be complacent.
Yeah.
They won't let you be.
Yeah.
It's always moving and changing, and you just have to change with the times.
So from a company standpoint, you're constantly doing market research. Is that how you keep up with the changing tides? And is it possible for you and I, in the time that we have allotted, to discuss, or is it even possible for us to discuss all the different ways in which you make the decisions that you need to make in order to stay current and constantly changing?
It's really not market research that we have done to find the new concepts. We go out and look for them. We'll go to, you can go to a craft fair, a really good craft fair, and you can find people who are making things that are just phenomenal.
Okay.
They need to be in retail. You can go to another mall and find somebody who's got a little concept. You want to help them grow it. You may find a person who's got an idea but doesn't know how to get it done, so you could help grow them. I mean, there's all ways to help people become retailers or get into retail.
So very few original ideas, imitation, the sincerest form of flattery, all of those things,
Absolutely.
I guess, are front and center. Now, interesting that a company that has the notoriety and the success and the recognition, and yet you still, after all these years, call the city of Beech Grove home.
I love this town.
Yeah, that's obvious. You've raised your family here,
I
and
have.
we talked about Beech Grove before we went on, and you talk about Beech Grove with a smile on your face, and I have every reason to believe that's sincere.
Yeah, I'm also on the redevelopment commission, and we're trying to work on doing some things downtown. I'm working on a new signage package. We're trying to get, we're going to meet with the chamber actually, and then get some citizens involved, some of the merchants, because we'd like to help them make their stores look a little more professional, because we want to start bringing more shoppers down to this area. And one way to do that is to upgrade their presentation. So yeah, I do love this town. I mean, they helped raise my kids.
Yeah.
The teachers who helped raise my kids, and people that are friends and coaches helped raise my kids. Absolutely, I love this town.
Well, you're joining the Hall of Fame with another graduate, Ron Green, who's a friend of mine. Ron, of course, is with Century 21 Sheets. And as Ron and I, we've known one another through motorsports over the years, and we both agree, unfortunately, this city, in my opinion, is one of the best kept secrets in central Indiana. I think that downtown redevelopment project, though, Jannis, is key to changing that. It was long overdue and badly needed, and there was some inconvenience involved, but I don't think it could have worked out any better than it did now that it's done.
Well, you know, actually, Mayor Buckley's very involved as well.
Sure.
He really cares about this city, too. And we have all new board members on the RDC. And they all have a vision as well. So we all have things that we're talking about that we want to do in the city to help bring people back. We do have to figure out, though, what we're going to do as far as helping to get bigger homes here. Maybe it'll be where we buy 2 lots and get somebody to build a bigger home on 2 lots, or whatever we can do, since we're landlocked and we can't go out and, you know, be like Franklin and have larger homes. But we do have a lot of ideas as to things we want to do.
Well, and really, residential development is one of the directions that you need to go, because having a little experience in media covering government, while certainly economic development is important from a business standpoint, a lot of times that comes along with the offer of tax abatements, and it's a little while before you enjoy the revenue from those initial investments, whereas residential tax benefits come to cities and towns a little quicker, do they not?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So the effort continues to attract business and residential downtown. Let's talk about the school corporation.
Okay.
It's a vital part of redevelopment. And one of the things that I've been impressed with over the couple of years that I've been at Beech Grove, you talk about Mayor Buckley. I mean, it's nothing once, twice, 3 times a month to see Mayor Buckley in these front doors here interacting with Steve Cox, our principal, or Dr. Kaiser, our superintendent. He understands what a development tool Beech Grove City Schools can be from that standpoint.
He really does.
And the board supports that, I think, because I think the board is very active in the chamber and economic development and things of that nature.
The board is very active, and they're all very passionate about this city. Sometimes a little too passionate, and you have to back up a little bit with your emotions when you're dealing with lots and lots of people and various groups in the city. But every one of them that sit on that board, it means a lot to them, for the city, for the school, to continue to improve. They are not a rubber stamp board. We have really given Dr. Kaiser some true headaches a few times, but that's our job, is to make sure that everything is done to the best that we can for everyone.
Yeah. You're getting ready to complete your 3rd term on the board?
We're ready to run for our 3rd term, but we just found out today that there were 3 positions open and there were only 3 people that ran, so you can come out and vote for us, but we've already won.
Well, we've talked a little bit about the challenges that you face in the retail industry with Simon. Anything you can pinpoint as the single biggest challenge in education? Is it a matter of simply making the dollars make sense when it comes to education? Is it the fact that it too is always changing and we have to make sure we stay up with standards and testing and practices and things of that nature? What have you found is to be some of the challenge? If you can't pinpoint it to one, then a couple of the challenges from being a school board member.
Well, one is definitely money. Since taxes were reduced, the school does not get as much money as it used to a long time ago. So after we get all of the Beech Grove kids taken care of, we have to let kids from outside the city come in as transfer students because we do get money for them.
Right.
Never does a transfer student take precedence over a Beech Grove student, and I don't ever want anybody to ever think that they do, because they don't. But they are very important to the financial portion of us being able to run a successful school corporation. So that is one thing. The other thing is that, you know, we continue to grow with computers and everything that the kids need to go to college. We have to keep growing that way as well. And sometimes it's hard to understand that all that money has to be spent to get those kids accustomed to the way they need to learn so that they can move on to go to school.
Sure.
And some people would feel that, you know, we'd probably be better off just having pen and pencil and books because that's the way we learned. But we found over the years that every child learns differently.
Sure.
So we give them an opportunity to read on the computer, to use the computer, to learn visually, to learn all kinds of ways, so that we make sure that each child gets the best benefit of how they're going to learn.
I think that over the last couple of years, what I have seen with the block scheduling and the balanced calendar, the changes in focus to the academies, the expansion of the video production program that we're involved in here, the creation of the FFA program.
Absolutely.
I think you talk about the importance of a college education, but I think this school corporation seems to be a bit at the forefront in following Governor Mike Pence's lead in the importance of vocational education for those kids who may not want to or be able to attend college someday.
And they may not be able to, but the ones that do go to college already have...
They're ready.
They're ready.
Sure.
They've already got their foot in the door. The kids that decide that they don't want to go to college, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, have an idea of something that they may
Sure.
want to do, because when we were in school, you didn't have the kind of opportunities or somebody to help teach you the various kinds of jobs that were out there that you could have done. Nobody had any clue what was out there.
And I think, you know, unfortunately, be it discipline, attendance, whatever the case may be, we have, you know, we have our Block 9 Academy here. There's the HEA Academy.
Sure.
And I have made the observation to other people who have asked me, well, what can you tell me about Beech Grove? I think that another thing that impresses me about the school corporation, there is absolutely, I can't think of any legitimate reason that a student can't graduate from here with at least a certificate of completion.
There's no way that a child cannot graduate here. They have made it possible for every child that goes here, which is a wonderful opportunity.
So between being a Beech Grove grad, being with Simon for so many years, being on the school board, living here, I would say that economic development work, school board work, all of that, it's one of those middle America stories in which you went away for a while, made good, I guess, that period you were in San Antonio, even though you're doing fine before you left, but you're always going to be a spokesperson for this city, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's how much it means to you.
Mm-hmm, I will.
And now you're a Hall of Famer.
I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm so flattered.
Have you looked out there on the wall in the lobby and seen some of the names that
I
are
know
out
a lot
there?
of those people.
And
A
the
lot of them
company
are my
that you're
friends.
joining? I mean,
Absolutely.
that's pretty impressive. Well, there it is.
Oh, thank you so
forever.
much. I'm so excited.
And folks, you may not know this, but her daughter teaches at Hornet Park, and she was here for a few minutes when the show first started.
Yes, she was.
First started taping. So.
And Jordan actually wanted to be on Skype because he's in Korea right now.
Oh, is that right?
With the Air Force.
Well, thank you for his service.
I will
We hope
do
he gets
that.
home safe and sound. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you
to
so much.
Yeah,
It was nice
my
talking to
pleasure.
you.
Yeah. So I want to give you some notes here. Very, very important. Parent-teacher conferences are coming up. September 9th and 10th here at the high school, 3 p.m. to 6:30. And we want to see a lot of parents come by. We want to open those lines of communication. Corey Wynn and his outstanding band program laying the foundation to get back to Lucas Oil Stadium for a state championship. We're sure of that later this year. In September, on the 9th, the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. They will be at Decatur Central, Plainfield, Lawrence Central, and Avon. Homecoming is set for the 26th of September against my alma mater, the Monrovia Bulldogs, and we're pulling for the Hornets that night, okay? So Beech Grove, you have a job to do. Always hit the Beech Grove City Schools website. We've got an athletic page. We're on Facebook, Twitter, all of those places. There's no reason to not know what's going on here at Beech Grove, and our doors are always open. So again, Thanks to our assistant principal, Randy Clevenger, for all of his help in putting the show together. Thanks to Wiley Kraft for producing the show. I'm Mark Janes, and we'll talk to you next month. Thank you.